Advocates are sounding the alarm on another potential financial cliff approaching in the new year. The student loan debt crisis now up to $1.7 trillion. Many federal loan borrowers were temporarily relieved of repayments during the pandemic, but they're set to resume on February 1st. And while the Biden administration has made sweeping changes to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, there is no movement on canceling student debt. Joining us to discuss the student loan debt crisis is Cody Hunanian, Executive Director of the Student Debt Crisis Center. Cody, welcome back and thank you for joining us again. So we know that the Biden administration has announced that they would expand the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. What kind of changes are in the works there?
Yeah, so Brandis, thank you for having me today. These updates are really important. So the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is designed to erase the student loan debt for people who work as teachers, nurses, social workers, and other public service workers in nonprofit and government spaces. But for the last decade, the program hasn't worked as intended, and we see way too many borrowers not get the student debt they were promised to by law. So the way that this expansion is working is that it's going to ease the rules and make the application process much easier for student loan borrowers so that, the people that expected to have student debt forgiven after 10 years of committing service to their communities will actually get that relief. It's a really big win, but it's only a temporary fix. So we're really rushing to get people applied as quickly as possible.
You say the program hasn't worked as it's intended. What's gone wrong?
Yeah, so we have a whole generation of public workers who, made personal sacrifices and made personal decisions as far as their career and their finances based on the expectation that their student loans would be forgiven after 10 years. But because of these tiny technicalities as far as what type of loan someone has or what type of repayment program they sign up for has blocked tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of individuals from getting the relief they expected. So this new waiver, this new update that's been passed at the Department of Education in the last month would make it so that anyone who has a federal student loan and has made a payment while working for a public service employee will have that time count towards student loan forgiveness.
So, Cody, what kind of concerns do you have about student loan repayments resuming in February?
Yeah, Brandis, I'm glad you called it a financial cliff because that's exactly how I see it. On February 1st, tens of millions of Americans are going to be sent back into student loan repayment. We have never in the history of the country seen a financial situation like this where millions of accounts for a financial product will have to be turned on. It's an unprecedented moment. And beyond that, we just surveyed over 33,000 student loan borrowers across the country. And 9 out of 10 of them told us that they are not ready to resume student loan payments because they're not financially secure enough. So this pandemic, it's not over yet. And the economic harm caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, it's certainly not done. And so we need to continue to pause student loan payments. And frankly, we actually need to permanently cancel student debt so that we can lift the burden off the backs of Americans once and for all.
And let's get into that survey from your organization. So you say among employed borrowers, 89% said they are not ready for loan payments to resume. 88% say that they depended on COVID-19 relief for their loans. 45% say they have poor financial wellness. And 21% say they will not be financially secure when payments resume. And Cody, as you just said, your organization, along with others, have called for canceling student loan debt. How would that impact the economy, let alone the borrowers?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, first on the survey, I think it's really important to point out that what we found this time around, this is our 4th survey during the pandemic, was that borrowers are back to work. 2/3 of them told us that they're fully employed, and yet their financial situation still makes paying student loans and affording their other bills incredibly challenging. What that tells us is that student loan debt is a harbinger on the economy. It prevents people from fully participating in the economy. That means buying homes, purchasing cars, starting small businesses. Student loan debt isn't just an extra weight through the pandemic. It is something that's holding our entire economy back. So if we can cancel the debt, we can wipe the slate clean for millions of Americans, we will see people have their full potential unleashed. They'll be able to invest in themselves, invest in the economy, invest in their families. And not only will those borrowers benefit, all of us in America will benefit because we will have lifted up tens of millions of people who can participate more fully.
Now, about 45 million people that collectively owe, as we mentioned, $1.73 trillion in student loan debt. What do we know about how Black and Latino borrowers in particular are impacted by student loan debt?
Yeah, that's a great point. We cannot not talk about the racial equity piece. It is so important. So we know that Black and brown borrowers have to take on more debt to pay for school. And that's because they lack what we call generational wealth. You know, systemically and historically, Black and brown people have not been able to develop the long-term wealth through purchasing homes, inheritances, all of that. And so Black and brown young people have to borrow more to pay for school. They face more obstacles when it comes to repaying their student loans. There's some data that suggests that after 12 years, the average Black borrower owes more than when they originally borrowed. And that's not for a lack of trying or making payments. And then 3, we also know that Black women are particularly impacted by student loan debt, even though they attend graduate school and higher levels of education at a higher proportion. And so when we talk about canceling student loan debt, what we're really talking about is a racial equity plan that helps address the wealth gap between those that have wealth and those that do not. And that is inherently tied to race.
Okay, a lot to think about there. Cody Hunanian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Brandis. It's really a pleasure to talk about this topic.